In this video, we will see how we can use filter and CountIf formula and how it can be beneficial to us. So we'll start with the filter formula. We have a table which contains product, region and city over here. Besides that, on the right hand side, I've also created a small table which has the header as region. What I want is when I enter any region in the cell below the header, so similar like south below region, it should populate the data based on the region. So let's see how we can do this using filter formula. So we'll type equal to filter. For the array, we'll select the data from the table which we need to populate based on the region. So in include, we'll select the region because we need to populate the data based on the region itself. And we'll add equal to, and we'll select the cell reference. We'll give the cell reference below the region which we are going to enter over here. Close the bracket and press enter. So it will populate all the data based on the region which we have entered over here. So suppose now it is for south, I'll change it to say east, and it will all populate all the data based on the region which we have entered, like east. Let's change it to north, and it will populate all the data based on the region north. So it's working perfectly, but if I have to delete this, it will give me an error. So if it is blank, if the cell is blank, it will give me error. To fix this error, what we'll need to do is we'll, after the formula over here, if empty, we'll just put a double quotes over here and press enter. So we won't be getting any error over here. Suppose now if I have to put north, it will populate all the data based on the north region. If we enter south, it will populate all the data based on south region. If I enter any of the character which is not related on the region, still it will not give me an error, and even if it is blank, it will not give me an error. So this is how we can use the filter formula to populate the data based on the cell or the data which you are going to select. Moving to the next formula, that is CountIf. So we have a table with product name, quantity, price and amount. On the right hand side, we have the product names over here. What I want is under the product name, when we enter any of the product, it should not be available for the other cells. So for that, what we need to do is, first of all, we'll create a formula where we'll use the CountIf formula and the filter formula. So we'll type the formula as equal to filter array. So array will be the product list, comma. Now we'll use CountIf formula. Range. For the range, we'll select the names, product names from here, which we will select from the product list itself. For criteria, again we will select the product names. Close the bracket. We'll add equal to 0. If there is any kind of error, error, then at least we can handle it. Close the bracket over here and press enter. So we'll get the same product names which were typed earlier, but this we have got through the formula. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this list over here by the means of the drop down list. So we'll go to data, select the cells, go to data, go to data validation. From here we'll select list. In source, we'll select the product names which we have generated by using the formula through the CountIf formula and the filter formula. Now click OK. So we'll get the drop down list over here. Now if I select any of the product name, say laptop from here, you will see the laptop has been disappeared from the product list, and in the below cell laptop won't be available. So if I select firewall, firewall will disappear from the list in the formula, and in the below cell again formula and laptop won't be available. So similarly we can select switch, switch will disappear, it will disappear from here too. If I select router, again the router will disappear from here, and for the next cell we'll have only two names left which are not selected above. So scanner, and in the next cell we'll left with only one printer which we can select here. So that is how we can use the filter and CountIf formula. Mostly the CountIf formula are useful for the people who are into the accounts department and they have to make lots of invoices. For them it is very beneficial because every time they don't have to go through the drop down list where they have multiple product names, say around say 50 names, and it will be very difficult for them every time selecting the product name from the list. So that will be very helpful for the people who are making invoices.